Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Rugby Chat, 29th of October. Game day. New Zealand Heartland 15 are playing. Good morning, Mike Sheehan. How are you?
G'day, Reds. Yeah, good, thanks. How you going?
Uh, yeah, well, I'm still recovering after a very long, hard weekend in the capital here, celebrating Wellington's sixth championship in the NPC. Another game that went to another extra time. Oh, I tell you, it was disappointing, is the words I would use. The crowd was pathetic. The weather was rough. Um, yeah. The question I have is, how can the Wellington Rugby Union be forced to lose money hosting the grand final?
Yeah, there wasn't many people there, was there? It was quite disappointing, really, for a NPC final, but that didn't take away the spectacle of the game, though, did it?
No, true. And I tell you what, I would not be surprised that Thames Valley had more people at Te Araha for the Heartland Championship final than they did. I mean, yeah, sure, the weather was fine. Well, the weather was okay in Te Araha, but the weather was okay. I mean, it was showery all day, um, and stuff. But they literally had pinned everyone into what you saw on TV. I was only in the cheap seats, and then I turn around, and who's in the cheap seats with us? The New Zealand Heartland 15 team. Hello, this is our national team. I spoke with a couple of the guys. It was a last minute decision to go to the game because I didn't realise they were staying out at the NZ CIS in Heratonga. But it was a last minute decision for them to go to this game. But you would have thought the New Zealand Rugby Union could have given them a nice little, hospitality suite because there were plenty available, right, to watch the game. But no, we'll put the New Zealand Heartland 15 out in the cold, in the rain, with all the plebs. I found that quite disgraceful.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of Facebook stories floating around from Clarence Mole and all that, and yeah, seen them all sitting up there in the stand, and a couple of them look pretty cold anyway. Doobie looked pretty cold, but yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, yeah. No, you would have thought NZA would have put something on for them, um, at least.
Well, the Bay of Plenty supporters that could afford it had very lovely seats at the southern end in a corporate box, but apparently they had to pay $150 a head to get in there, and there was no way I was going to pay $150. But hey, congratulations to my mighty Wellington Lions, though, champions again. Was last year a blip? I don't know, but it was a great game of footy. I did sort of pick it that it was going to be a close match. And definitely, I mean, the weather did help. There was some interesting refereeing decisions every now and then. Someone shouted out, "My God, that was head high." I said, "No, it's not. His head's still on his shoulders." But but the thing is, it was a it was a game when you looked at the round robin match they had,
Mm.
which went to Golden Point. I mean, we called it last week. Don't be surprised to see this game go to extra time, and they duly obliged. It was just a shame that it took to the 95th minute or something for it to actually be decided by a penalty. But end of the day, that's provincial rugby done and dusted. Now we can get on to the All Blacks and their dismal performance against Japan. Sure, they were 45 points up at half time, but my God, is it time they stop making substitutions for the sake of making substitutions?
Yeah, well, the All Black game it was an okay game, I guess. The Japanese, they like to throw the ball around, but yeah, getting back to the Heartland final, yeah, no, that was a great game of rugby. There was, they threw absolutely everything at each other, and I didn't think Player plenty started actually getting into their work until the second half, till they got the win behind them, and then. But full credit to Wellington. They deserved it. I thought Bay of Plenty were going to snatch it at one stage, but no, the old Lions kept going, and it's going to be interesting when the All Blacks come around to play England and all that, and Ireland, and it's going to be a different kettle of fish, isn't it?
Well, it certainly is. I suppose what got me though yesterday, thinking about the test match on Saturday, was the amount of forced errors on Damien McKenzie at first five, and all I could come down to was the Pacific Island boys that were playing for Japan. Yeah, there were some big boys in there, and if you go back and have a look, there was one early tackle there on McKenzie who got smashed, and for the rest of the game, I think they were in his head because there was one part there in the second half. The All Blacks were moving it forward around the side of the ruck, and I'm going, this is great, do it again. Do it again. It got to McKenzie and he kicked it.
Yeah.
If they just kept on doing what they were doing, they were going to walk straight up through the middle and score a try.
Mm.
So, I mean, there has to be questions. I know a lot of DMAC fans are out there, but, they do that against England, they're going to blow us off the park.
Yeah, I thought that hit on Damien McKenzie was I could feel it. But it's just a shame that they couldn't score if at the big lock. Warner Dern, who actually happens to be our Mid Canterbury CEO's son, so he plays with rugby in Japan. So, but that would have been a good try if it had stood. But unfortunately, there was a knock on there. So, but he got a bit rattled after that. I think after that big shot.
Yeah. And just want to say good morning to William, our Tanny Far fan. I hear what he's saying here because, you've got to wonder sometimes about people getting stuff into stadiums to promote themselves and all that sort of stuff. It is so true. I mean, they have enough security guards for the crowd to catch anybody that is going to... what do you call it? Be arseholes.
Mm.
So, let the people in. I mean, if you look at the football, you watch the English soccer. I mean, look at not Eden Park. What do you call it? Mount Smart Stadium on Saturday with the Auckland Football Club. Everyone had big flags. Everyone was cheering. Everyone was getting on. Mind you, I did know one guy who tried to get in who was dressed as a knight with a sword. And then he's complaining that he had his sword taken off him. Well, mate, it was a sword. It was a weapon.
Was it actually a real sword?
It was an actual real sword. So, yeah. But, so, I mean, but the thing is, for them to charge $25 a head to get into the stadium, I know we're sort of chopping change in here, but to charge $25 to get into the stadium and not let anyone sort of, you can take a blankie with you, sort of thing, or you can take a flag with you. But I mean, if you look at the NRL, they say, oh, look at this, look at that, look at this. If you look at every other sport, people are into it. Here it's like so much OSH issues going on. It's just ridiculous. And then on top of that, to get to the stadium, we went to go through, you can walk along the platforms at Wellington Stadium to get to the walkway. We couldn't walk through it because they were still busy setting up the little corral, so you'd only walk up that one particular platform to get up to the walkway. And I said to the guy, I said, well, hey, can we go through now? He went, oh, no, a few more minutes. So we actually had to walk the long way around to get into the stadium. It was just like, come on, people. This is just getting stupid, But back to the All Blacks. Nick Terry. So there you go. Welcome, Nick. Haven't had you on the show before. But a lot of people are saying... that could be the last game because if you look at who's gone to England, They sent 12 players over there to be pre-acclimatised.
Yeah,
So is Bowden Barrett going to be starting at 10 against England this weekend?
I'd say so. Yeah,
It
I'd say
looks
so.
like it, eh?
Yeah,
Will Jordan at fullback?
yeah. I think it's going to be a. I think Razor's going to probably name the strongest 23 he's got available to him. To be fair, what she needs to do, because England are a very good side and they're very well coached, and they deserve the respect. They deserve the respect of the All Blacks, definitely.
Yeah, well, one thing that did come out that went a bit under the radar this week, last week, was that as we know, English rugby is very much run by the clubs, not the rugby union, the actual clubs over there. They lock up their players, they can't have them for international tours and all this sort of stuff. But
Yep.
I don't know if you noticed, but they announced about 13 or 14 players now have been directly contracted to the English Rugby Union, i.e., like New Zealand do, and like Australia, well, Australia sort of. And so now these guys, because of the financials in English club rugby, it looks like the English RU have, taken a leaf out of New Zealand's book and are signing up these players now to say, right, we get first pick, the club get the second go. Gives a lot of these players a lot more stability. And is that going to improve their excuse me, is that going to improve the English mentality that they're safe, they've got a contract, they don't have to worry, they don't have to worry about getting injured because their club might knock them, send them
Yeah,
to
yeah,
the second thirds or whatever. Now they're being paid by the English Rugby Union. I think we're going to see a totally different English team this weekend.
yeah. Well, that's a good move from the English Rugby Union to do that, and yeah, I think we're going to see a very, very strong English side this weekend, and they're going to give the All Blacks hell up front. And
Oh, totally.
obviously, if Marcus Smith's playing at fly half or wherever he plays, I think it is fly half. He's going to be the pivot for that game. I think he's going to run the All Blacks around. Run the All Blacks around.
Yeah. Well, we're actually going to do just a quick show here today, mainly because we're going to be back on air here on Facebook and on YouTube at about 4:45 New Zealand time this afternoon, because the main reason we're here, the main reason I'm geared up in my Heartland gear today, is that we have the New Zealand Heartland 15 taking on the New Zealand Maori selection this afternoon at Cook's Garden in Wanganui. Kick-off is at 5 o'clock. It is, if you don't want to watch us have a moan, groan and bitch moan, it will be available also on YouTube, but we will stream it through our channels here. Yeah, New Zealand Maori selection. Okay, I suppose the Heartland boys have to take what they can get. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. New Zealand Maori selection, and then on Saturday on to the Barbarians, which have traditionally been a very strong side, and we haven't. I don't think we've managed to get a win over them yet. But I was looking over the squad earlier, well, when it was named yesterday, and there's a few surprises in there in the starting 15. But I think Nigel Walsh and Mia Nakora and David Harrison have named a pretty solid squad, and particularly 6, 7, and 8 is. There it is. Matty Extons, Declan McCormick, and Sia Kakala. I think that's a really, really lethal combination. And I see Caleb Foots moved into the locks.
Yeah, and of course Woody Wright. Good honour for him being made captain
Yeah,
from South Canterbury. I actually caught up with him on Saturday, as I said, when I saw the boys, and wished them all the best. But it was really how can I put it? I mean, if you look at the starting team, we got South Canterbury, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from South Canterbury. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from Thames Valley. A couple of your mid Canterbury boys there. Okay, until I go into the reserves, not much spread around there. 3 teams providing the starting 15.
Yeah. We've only got. I think we've only got one in the starting 15. Looks like Doobie on the wing, but we've got Fridge. Declan. We've got Adam Cullum, and that's it on the bench, I think. Yeah. So shout out to Cullum, who got the late call up with the withdrawal of Hicker Elliott.
So here is the impact bench, or impact as they call it. So Callum Burrell, he came on for Hicker Elliott. I did ask Nigel Walsh on Saturday, is he playing? And he went, no, he had the Hicker Elliott had the option of playing for the New Zealand Heartland 15 or playing for Wellington on Saturday. He had a great shift with Wellington on Saturday. But of course, under the rules for New Zealand Heartland, if people are wondering, if you perform for an NPC team during the season, it actually makes you unavailable for Heartland selection at the end of the season. So Hicker Elliott, at the ripe old age, another chance to get another black jersey at the age of 38, decided no, he would rather go for a championship medal with Wellington, and in doing so, became only like the second player to play for 6 provinces, and behind, I can't even think off the top of my head now, another guy has played for 8. So there's only 3 of them have played for more than 6 provinces in New Zealand history. So he's up there now. It'll be interesting to see if he pulls on the boots again for another season. But I mean, Wanganui, they're hosting this game. The only player they've got in the side there is Ethan Robinson, come off the bench with Tyler Rogers Holden. Harfanua is there with Dallas Wiki. King Country, as I said, they've got Christian Standen there. And I'm just still having an issue about the spread of this Heartland team. Sure, we've got a lot of the top teams here, right? But Harfanua didn't make a final. Wanganui didn't make a final. So where's the West Coast boys who made a final? Only a couple from King Country. It makes me wonder, was it because of player, what do you call it? Availability? Who knows? But they are up against a New Zealand Maori selection. And a lot of these guys, the starting lineups come here. We do have Bruce Kawaki Peterson, who's played for Wairarapa Bush this season. Cruz Dunster, he's also from King Country. Sam Smith, he's from Hawke's Bay, originally though from Wairarapa Bush. So they've got a few people there. We've got Will Cole from Wairarapa, a few from Ngāti Porou in that starting lineup. So it is a Maori selection, but is it also a Heartland B team?
Yeah, well, that's interesting. Interesting you should say that. I don't know many faces in that team, but I know that Kahu Tamati is one of the management team. But yeah, it's interesting to see that they've named quite a few coaches and managers, and that's caused a bit of uproar online. But it is what it is, and people just need to deal with it, I think.
Yeah, well, again, you've got the squad of 23, maybe 30. Well, it's 23 because they're only playing the one game. But the actual management squad, I mean, I brought this up earlier in the season with the Maori under-18 girls. They named a squad of 23, and they had a management squad of 20 or 30, I think it was. It was something crazy. in this game, you also have the, what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for here? Yeah, you got 3 or 4 Kamatuas, you got 3 or 4 Rangateras, you got 3 or 4. Yeah, you know, I mean, how many people do you need to run a game? You know, and then you see here you got in this Maori squad, the Maori 15 in the impact, you got Tane Tapaya. They've got him down as, you know, from Waikato, right? He's Thames Valley. You got Elijah Croswell. Yeah, he's played. He's Ngāti Paroi from Manawatu. Got Sam Walton Sexton. He's played for Wairarapa, but I think he's playing club rugby over in Manawatu. Then you have Jacob Wakiri Jones, who broke records galore in the Heartland Championship for West Coast. Yeah, I did see him on Saturday wearing a Heartland kit, but he's part of the Maori 15. So, yeah, Mania Brooking, Ngāti Paroi. It's an interesting selection all around. I mean, it'll be a great game. You still got mates playing mates, I suppose you could say. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see, if the, I did see that they have, what do you call it? Worn black jerseys in the team photo. Problem is, as far as I know, the New Zealand Maori playing black jerseys too. So, who's going to be changing jerseys on the day? I guess we'll find out at 5 o'clock tonight. And to Kelvin Loy, yep, provincial is over. What next? Well, we're talking about it now, Kelvin. And it's the Heartland 15 taking on the New Zealand Maori later today at Wanganui. I'll just quickly take us off the screen so you can see where it's going to be played. Cook's Gardens.
Through it, and there's no injuries, so they can have a good crack at the Barbarians on Saturday.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I mean, as I said, they've got a tight squad, but I'll just like to before we do go, as I said, you know, we'll take some picks and that. I don't know. I've been thinking about it. I've got quite a good book actually that I might give away. How's that sound? So I'll play some questions down for you. Okay, right. So this guy was a seminal figure in New Zealand rugby, imposing his stamp on the world. Whether at fullback, wing, or centre, he was one of the original 1905 All Blacks who showed up, because this sort of blends in with our, what do you call it? Test match this weekend in England. But he was an original member of the 1905 All Blacks. And he played for New Zealand 51 times. He played 11 test matches. I mean, and back in the day, he scored 379 points, which remained an All Black record for 50 years. He scored over 230 points on that 1905 tour. He scored enough points in the opening game of that tour, which was a record for 50 years. He was also, believe it or not, the assistant manager of the New Zealand Maori team to go to Australia in 1935. So, what I'm going to say is, tell me who that person is I'm talking about. Give me your score prediction on today's game. And if you get the score right, and you've got that little person's name right, I've got a book, brand new, straight off the shelf, never been opened, to send to the lucky winner. Why not?
Yeah, sounds good.
Give shit away. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're wondering who it is, come back to, what is it, the 25-minute mark for those clues. But more importantly, on our Facebook page only, the deadline is when we come back to air later this afternoon. So you've got what? 6 hours to put your score predictions in for tonight's game. If no one gets it, I'll look at some sort of jackpot for the game against the Barbarians on Saturday. There we go.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna. I don't know. I don't know the answer to the question, but I'm gonna tip the Heartland 15 by 20.
15 to 20 for the Heartland boys.
Yeah, probably 20.
Well, I'm going to say that, I'm not too sure what the weather's going to be like in Wanganui this afternoon. If it's anything like here in Wellington, it might rain later. I know it's raining there at the moment, whether it sticks around or not. So I'm going to say myself, not giving a score, but I'll just say that the New Zealand Heartland 15 will get up by 18 points. There we go. And to answer Clarence's question, is it on Sky? No, it's not on Sky, Clarence. It'll be right here on Heartland's Facebook page. So if you want to watch it, come and see us. But it's also on YouTube. I've got to give them a shout out, YouTube. But we'll have it on our YouTube channel. We'll have it on the Facebook page here later this afternoon. So, what else? Any other gossip? There is a post going around of the Meads Cup being damaged by South Canterbury. I'll just quickly say, no, it's not been damaged by South Canterbury. If you have a look at the, the trophy before the game and at the presentation of the trophy, it did have 2 handles. So, yeah. So to the people out there blaming South Canterbury for damaging it and not polishing up the trophy, I think you better go back and have a look at that trophy on Meads Cup Day, because it definitely was in one piece and it was very, very shiny.
Yeah, looked pretty good to me.
And yeah, now the thing is, I do know for a fact the handle that the person is talking about has actually broken off about 4 times with previous holders. It is not the strongest of trophies, and maybe they should look at giving it a better welding instead of just using super glue. That falls off every time it ends up at a pub somewhere. So, yeah. So, will you come back and be with me at about 4:45, Mike, to watch the game later today?
Yep. I'll chuck it on the TV and jump on. Yep. Be right.
Yep. No, that would be good. We will be back. Remember, put in the comments here on Facebook what your predictions are. Give us a like too if you want. We could always do with an extra few likes on the page. But until really, till 4:45, I'll get Mike just to stay on the line after the closing credits. So we can organise what we're going to be doing. But good luck to the Heartland team this afternoon, and hope to see you all back soon. See you later.
See you later.